Peace in YouTube. It's Greg from GregsTutoringNYC at gmail.com. It's been a hectic, crazy week for me. SHSAT fever is busting out all over. So we're going to do the next iteration of our lightning round here. I'm going to use an example from a student as well as a bunch of, I don't know about a bunch because this is a lightning round, but I can use also some examples from a SHSAT Discord chat that's set up. All right. So what I'm going to do is just jump in here. As some of you know, I'm a SHSAT tutor. I tutor in New York City, and I tutor for a whole bunch of standardized tests, including the SHSAT, both in for the grade 8 and for the grade 9 SHSAT. All right. So let me just jump in here. Let me just show my stream is working, because I just got a YouTube warning. I just love YouTube. Okay, my mic seems on. No, it doesn't seem live for some reason. Let me see. All right, it's live. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, so I'm just going to jump into the first question here. So somebody writes to me. Let me squash my mic here 1 second. Okay, so how do you express 3x to square root of x in a term such as ax to the n? So first of all, the SHSAT would never ask this kind of question in this form. And it may even be a little out there, because the SHSAT, even though this is mathematically in the realm of the SHSAT, it's kind of a little out there. So what they're trying to ask is, how can I take this thing here, which is called a term, right? When you have something like x squared plus 5x plus 99 or something like that, you're going to have a term something like that. Okay? So each of these is a term. When we talk about adding like terms like 5x plus 6x to be 11x, so they're terms. So they're asking us, how can we express this term in a term that looks like this? In other words, we have the constant and x and then the square root of x. How can we get it to just be the constant? That's what the a is representing there. The constant times the x to the power. Okay, so let me rewrite it down here. 3 times x times the square root of x. Now, in enough cases, you guys probably know there's a few techniques where you can square things. And if you square it, you'll get 9x squared x. And that actually can help you to a certain extent, because if you square this whole thing, then at the end you need to square rootize it. And that maps, because this becomes the square root of 9x cubed, right? And then you get the square root of 9, which is 3. And then this becomes basically x to the 1.5. Okay? That's kind of a sloppy way to solve it, even though it works. And this, by the way, is the answer. Okay? There's another way to do it, which is we take the original expression, the 3x times the square root of x. Okay? These are multiplications, right? Same as it was up here. We have 5x, that means 5 times x. We have 5 x's. So we have 3x x squared, or we have 3x x squareds, okay, depending on whatever heck x happens to be. So if we map this into a normal exponential base and exponent, this 3, x is x to the 1. And as all of you should know by now, this is x to the 1/2. The square root, there's an implicit, when we have square root, whatever's in here, there's basically a 2 there. If there was a 3 there, it would mean the cube root and so on. All right? So that's what you have there. So this means x to the 1/2. Similarly, if you saw, say, 9 to the 1/2, this means the square root of 9. You can go backwards and forwards. So here we have normal exponent multiplication. So if I have x squared times x to the 3rd, what we do is when we have the same base, we add the exponents. So this is the same as x to the 5th. So that means we have the same thing right here. We have 1 and 1 1/2. So we get 3 times x to the 3/2. right? 3 times x to the 3/2. And it's the same as what I got over here, which is 3x to the 1/5. Okay? And that's it. That's the answer they're looking for. So when they come back here and they say how to express, where is that again? How to express 3x to the square root of x into terms such as ax to the n, that's what they're looking for. So you're going to get, this is your a, and this is your x to the n. So a would be 3 and your n will be 3/2. And that's all they're looking for there. All right? Okay, so let me take another example that actually came from the Discord. And it's not that it's hard, but there's a few steps to it. All right? So let me drag it into here. I think I threw it on the side here. So if you're on Discord, which is really basically a gaming site, but it has a chat area. In fact, I think they just added a video section to it. There is a SHSAT section. Actually, I set one up, but I never pursued it further because I'm just too busy and so on. I had expected to. In any event, here's a problem. I think they posted today. Somebody, not sure. I only got into it about 10 minutes ago, so I'm not actually sure if they solved this or not. But it's a cutesy enough problem. I don't know if they got this from a previous SHSAT handbook. I know I've gone through all the previous SHSAT handbook questions, and I don't really recall this one. But it's certainly a game for the SHSAT. And remember, this is game for SHSAT 8 and 9. Remember, SHSAT 9 incorporates all of SHSAT 8, both in the math section and in the ELA section. And even if this was harder than SHSAT 8, this is probably a SHSAT 8 question. Even if it's harder, remember that the SHSAT 8 can have super hard questions as well as just hard questions, as well as just normal questions. All right, so there's kind of a double talk going on here in this question itself. Let me make sure your screen is, you guys are live. Hello, everybody. I see a bunch of live viewers keeping it real quiet out there. If anybody knows the answer, you know, go for it. If anybody's catching this in the replay, you can certainly pause the video and come back to it. All right. Actually, I just posted it in the Discord, so I'm assuming if that's who a few of you guys are here. All right. So let me bring it back on my screen because YouTube has a little live thing blocking the question for me here. Actually, no, it doesn't. So we have. Let's see what we're given. We have n. So that's where we start from. And we have a set. That's what this curly brace is establishing. So we have 6, 7, dot, 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 and then 21, 22. Okay? So I like to kind of look at this as if anybody's following all my other streams. This is kind of the illustration of this problem because they're giving this to us. So let's just see if we understand what's going on here. Remember, dot, dot, dot means you're going to fill in stuff here. So n is basically 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Not sure. Yeah, let me do this to get it to fit. All right, so that's all the numbers there. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. On a problem like this, if you solve it this way, you definitely don't want to miss one of these going on here. Okay, so it says set L, not shown. So what they're showing right now is N, not L. This is set L because it says N equals, and it's between the curly braces. Okay, so that's establishing a set for us. And if you don't know, you should figure it out by context. So set L is a list of 25 consecutive integers. Okay, so this is involving terminology. You need to know what consecutive means. It means they follow each other. So you'd have 1, 2, 3. In fact, the numbers in n, all these integers in n, they're consecutive because they just follow each other by 1. Okay, so that's a testing term. It's a mathematical term. If you don't know what consecutive means, you're going to have to figure out things by context again. All right. So set L is a list of 25 consecutive integers. The median of the integers in set n above is equal to the least integer in set L. Okay, so that's where our kind of trickiest wording is. So what is the median of the integers in set L? All right, so there's a little, it's really a word problem here that we have to interpret, okay? So let's go through it again. Set L is a list of 25 consecutive integers, all right? The median of the integers in set N above is equal to the least integer of set L. So it means we have to get the median of the numbers up here, all right? So since I wrote them out, the median is the center number. This is not the average. That's the mean or the average. It's the center number. So you can eyeball it, but that's a stupid way to do it. So the way you're probably taught in early grades was to check off back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So if we go 6, 22, 7, 21, 8, 20, 9, 19, 10, 18, 11, 17, 12, 16, 13, 15. So our median turns out to be 14. Now there's a mathematical way to compute this as well, okay? But on a test like the SHSAT, sometimes it's worth doing it this way, as long as you don't leave out one of the numbers. Because what happens is everybody gets kind of more anxious during the actual test. And even though you could probably do this sitting here right now to figure out it was 14 without going that back and forth, the back and forth, the back and forth thing, even though that's the case, it might be worth at least as double check to do it this way. All right. So the thing is, to do it mathematically, we have 22 minus 6, right? And what do we get there? 16, right? And this, we have to include the number itself, the first number itself. Because if I have 1 and 2, if I do 2 minus 1, I get 1. But in the meantime, there's 2 numbers. So we have to add a number here. So we have 17 numbers in set N. So the center number is basically 8N. And all we can do is do 6 plus 8. That's 14. So that's the kind of mathematical, programmatic, algorithmic way to do it. Okay? But you want to double check it on the test like the SHSAT, just because you have that time limit on you. And it's a yin-yang, because you have to pace it between, can I do this real quick and make a mistake? Or do I write this whole long bugger out and go back and back and waste time? So you have that, it's a definite yin-yang back and forth. So what the hell does the 14 mean? So it says the median in the set above is equal to the least integer of L. So we have L equals something here, right? So it's telling us that the smallest number in L is 14. And then we're going to go on, and it tells us there's 25 numbers in here. All right? So we have kind of the same thing. So we're going to go up to 38. I believe is the top number, because we're going to do minus 1 in this case to get the top number. So now the question is, out of these numbers, what's the median, right? So we can write out the same kind of thing, 14, because if you go back to the question, it's asking what is the median in L. So when we have this range from there to there. In fact, this must be 37, I think. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm going to write this kind of sloppy. 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. And we can actually count that this 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So there's one more. Let me just double it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And we can just go back the same way. And you can kind of optimize this because you know there's a bunch of numbers. So if I cross off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 maybe, and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could probably do about 3 more. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we get 27, 25. Okay, I end up getting 26 as the answer. So I don't know if I did that right, but I'm assuming I am. Hey Geek, how you doing? All right, so I normally spend about 10 minutes doing these streams. We're at 15 and a half. So I'm going to end it at this here. Again, I mostly do a lightning round every day, guys. So and on the weekend, I do longer ones. Normally on Saturday morning and Sunday morning. None of it's guaranteed. I normally video about this time, 5 p.m. and do some sort of stream that goes anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour, and the longer ones are normally on Saturday and Sundays. But I've done them vice versa, and it depends what's going on. All right. So again, I'm Greg from GregsTutoringNYC at gmail.com. I'll probably add some more of these, do some more from the Discord. I don't have the name handy right now, what the name of the Discord is, guys. So in any event, anybody can email me questions, or I also do other different kinds of things here. I haven't asked me anything. YouTubes I do. I also go over stuff. And at some point, I think very soon, I'm going to start going over some of the handbooks from maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and just we'll iterate through them, because we're I think it's 57 days until the first SHSAT date. Is about 5 or 6 SHSAT days, and the first one is, I think, October 26th. I'm doing this from my memory right now. All right, people, peace out. Have a great day.